to share something with you. That might put me in a very negative light, yeah.
Relationships are not my forte.
See if someone grabbed up my wife or something completely different ballgame.
I'll walk away from here, and this has been like a therapy session.
This is Umar for IFL TV, proudly sponsored by Everlast. We're in Las Vegas, Nevada, the capital of the boxing world. I'm joined by Mikaela Mayer, who's actually just got in the middle of Joe Joyce and Big Bang Zhang. I bet you didn't expect to be doing that today.
No, that was a new role today.
Maybe a future for you in as a boxing promoter. Who knows down the line?
No, you never know.
Mikaela, obviously, you're in camp ahead of April 15th, live on BT Sport, and of course ESPN Plus here in America. Buzzing to be back out, Mikaela, and just tell us a little bit about your opponent on the night as well.
Christina Linardatou, a tough opponent. She was mandatory challenger actually for Chantel Cameron, the 140-pound undisputed champion. She's only lost to Katie Taylor and Delphine Pursoon, so tough opponent. And I've always said that there's no more filler fights, no more easy fights for me. Like, I only want to challenge myself against the best. I feel like I'm in my prime, and Christina Linardatou is going to be a good test for me at my lightweight debut.
What do you think she brings to the table?
Well, definitely a lot of experience, but also she's an aggressive fighter. She's strong, and she's a bit awkward. I know she comes from kickboxing, so big looping shots. I got to make sure, hold my hands high, and she has a high punch count. She's very aggressive and just keeps coming. So I got to be in shape, ready to match that.
How do you think you're going to fare at lightweight as well?
Much better. I felt good going into my fights at 130, but it's no secret that I wasn't able to really put on any muscle. Like, I was on such a calorie deficit in training camp that there was no room to put on muscle. In order to put on muscle, you have to eat. And I was just eating very little, trying to get down to that weight. And being in this camp, knowing that I'm fighting at 135, it doesn't seem like a lot, 5 pounds, but it definitely is. I've been able to sort of just train at a more comfortable weight. I feel really good. I feel strong. I feel full. My body's sort of just filling out, so I'm excited. I don't even know. I think that 140 is actually going to be my best weight, but 135 for now.
I'm sure you're feeling much healthier. Obviously, you're back in the UK. I know you had an enjoyable experience last time in the UK. Obviously, the result on paper didn't go your way, but happy to be back in front of the UK fans, Mikaela?
Yes, I chose to fight in the UK. I could have fought in the card out here April 1st, but I just really enjoyed being in the UK last time. I feel like I did a lot of work when it came to the media. We went out there twice because the Queen had passed, and so I really worked to sell that fight, and I think in the process I built a good fan base out there, and I kind of want to continue on that momentum and go back out there and put on another great show for them.
Well, yeah, that fight with obviously Alicia BAUMGARDNER did gather a lot of attraction, and we forget sometimes that was achieved support, and it still gathered a lot of attraction. It felt like a main event. What are your feelings towards her now?
It's the same. We're not friends. This rivalry is still very much alive in my head. I mean, I made it clear that I wanted the rematch. She made it clear that she does not. So nothing I can do but move on and continue to challenge myself against other great fighters, which they're out there. There's plenty of them for me, and I'm at 135 now, and I'm going to do whatever I can to get myself in line to fight the champ at 135, which is Katie Taylor. So that's my mission. When they come knocking for the rematch, which I know they will, we can talk about it, but I think it'd be stupid to not, because I know the fans want to see it, and the eyes are there. Like, people want to see that fight. The money's there. It would just be stupid not to.
Whenever you post about that fight online, generally, what's the social media reaction? Obviously, you're going to have your fans saying you won that fight, you believe you won that fight. Do you feel like 90% of the boxing fans believe you beat Alicia that night?
Yeah, it's based off social media, based off everything that I hear. About 90% of people believe that I won that fight. But what are you going to do? There's no taking the score back. The only thing we can do is do it again and make and clarify, really solidify who's better, who's the best.
Do do you think it'll be a more convincing performance for you next time against her?
So because we already fought, there's that element of surprise is definitely gone. So I think you'll see a very different fight from both of us. And I know that in my mind, I thought I was following a game plan that was working. But if I would have seen, or if I would have known what the judges were thinking and that they weren't seeing it that way, I would have pressed her and I would have kicked it into another gear because I know I have that in me. So I think the next fight will be very different.
Is it personal between you and her?
Oh yeah, like I don't think you'll ever see us like hug it out. Like I just don't see that. I think that's one of the reasons why this fight and this rivalry was so intriguing to people is because it was very real. It was very real. It's still real. So.
Is there a message to Team BAUMGARDNER and herself?
No, I got nothing left to say. She knows. She knows exactly what I want. She knows what the fans want. But you know, she's busy on her high horse right now, thinking she's the queen. So let her do her thing. But they'll come knocking.
Just a last one topic away from this. You said that you're gunning for that fight with Katie Taylor. Obviously, her fight with Serrano fell out of bed. Talks about her and Chantel Cameron happening now. What are your thoughts on that?
I think that's a good fight. I know that Katie still wants to stay busy, and it makes sense that she would want to go challenge herself against Chantel, who's the undisputed champion at another division. And so I think Chantel is worthy and deserving of that fight, and that's great. I mean, women's boxing is on fire because we're all willing to put our belts on the line, and we're willing to challenge ourselves in other divisions. So, yeah, I think it's a great fight, and you never know what happens in boxing, but I'm willing to take, I'll take the winner or the loser of that. I think they're both great. Got a lot of respect for both of them, and I think it'd be a good fight.
In a realistic time frame, the winner of that fight, when do you think you can secure a fight with them? Think maybe the end of this year. That's realistic, Mikaela?
At this point, all I can do is stay ready and tell my team what I want, because there's a lot of politics when it comes to this. I know that HEARN has these girls, and so that's something that our promoters are going to have to get together and figure out. But I've made it very clear to my team and to everybody that I'm willing to go where I'm wanted. And Chantel has made it clear that she's willing to take a fight against me. She's open to that. So I'm open to that as well. We'll see what happens with Katie Taylor this year. I know she has 2 fights that she's set on, especially if she has to rematch Serrano. So we'll just see. It's kind of exciting where women's boxing is. You just really don't know. I'm going to stay ready to take on whoever comes knocking first.
Do you think Eddie puts either of his girls in with you?
With me? I don't know. I can only hope so. I can't say no that he wouldn't because, I don't see why he wouldn't, because I feel like I built my name and my career up to a point where a fight with me would sell and it would be exciting and the fans would want to see it. And so, I think that Eddie Hearn, he's a businessman. So if he sees the dollar signs and he sees that it makes sense, then he'll do it. So, yeah.
On that note, Mikaela, great speaking to you out here in Las Vegas. Look forward to seeing you on Fight Week in London. Is there a final message to the UK fans? What can we expect on April 15th?
Listen, Linardatou's gonna have to kill me. I'm not leaving that arena without my hand getting raised. I'm never gonna feel that way again. I never want to feel that way again. So I'm coming to put on a performance of my life, and get your tickets now. You're not gonna want to miss it.
Thank you for your time and best of luck in camp.
Thanks.
Cheers.
I'm going to share something with you. That might put me in a very negative light, yeah.
Relationships are not my forte.
See if someone grabbed up my wife or something, completely different ballgame.
I'll walk away from here, and this has been like a therapy session.